Hi guys, hope you're all well. Today we are cooking beef ragu. So if you're someone that likes beef and you like Italian food, this one is definitely for you. Even better, it's another one pot dish and it is absolutely delicious. So let's have a look at what you're going to need. Of course, you're definitely going to need some beef. Now, I've gone for a beef roasting joint here. The only reason I went for it is at Sainsbury's, they had it on offer. If you had a Nectar card, it was half price. It was like a tenner for 1.6 kilos. Sounds like a lot of meat. It absolutely is. I buy more because what I do is I then portion this up and freeze it. Yeah. If you don't buy it like that, feel free, just buy normal cubed steak or stewing steak or whichever you prefer, basically. Here I've got 2 cloves of garlic, which I've diced, 3 celery sticks diced, 2 large carrots diced, 1 onion diced. Here I've got a litre of beef stock and I've used 2 of those beef stock pots, those Knorr beef stock pots that you get. So 1 per 500 millilitres. You're going to want some red wine. I went and got one of these small bottles purely because as much as I love red wine, it absolutely despises me. It doesn't agree with me at all, so I don't drink it, but I do like to use it in cooking, but use whatever red wine you've got. I'm using these pre-mixed Italian herbs, really, really good. You've got everything you need in there. There's oregano, thyme, rosemary, garlic. But if you haven't got that, then just use fresh herbs, probably even better. And then 2 tins of my old favourites, the muti tomatoes. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. As I said, this is one pot. I just want to, first of all, just dice up that beef, okay? I say dice it up, move those over there. I'm actually going to have mine into quite big chunks. I like it in slightly bigger chunks, and then that way, once it's finished its cooking, I can shred it up nicely. But do it whichever way you prefer. So I'm going to be cutting it almost into quite thick steaks, like so. Nice thing about this doesn't actually have an awful lot of fat on it, which is absolutely fine for this dish. We've got so much flavour going on, but just cut it, again, if you want to cut it smaller, absolutely fine. Again, go in with another chunk. There we go. I mean, I don't get it with Sainsbury's because this was, as I say, half price if you had a Nectar card. But it just seemed really expensive if you didn't. It was almost sort of way out of kilter from what you'd expect. It being half price with an Nectar card, I don't know, I didn't even see what else they had on offer, but I'm sure there was probably lots of stuff going half price if you've got an Nectar card, so get yourself one if you haven't got one. And that one I'm just going to cut like that. And that is literally it. That's all I'm going to do with it, okay? So move that out of the way. Now, I'm not even going to seal this. Some people will say to you, brown that meat because it adds lots of extra flavour. Sorry, just grab myself a cloth. Yes, it can do, but I think because these stock pots now, they're so good. They're so deep in flavour with beef that I just don't think that the browning the meat actually gives you anything more to the flavour, and this has got a lot of flavours going on, so it'll be absolutely fine just to chuck it all straight in. You could absolutely do this recipe in the slow cooker as well, so just follow the same process but chuck it in your slow cooker. Yeah, so I'm going to chuck in a bit of the beef. I'm going to chuck in probably 3 of those, and then I'm just going to go straight in with our celery sticks like so, our carrots in there. I absolutely love this dish. We're serving it today with pappardelle pasta. Any pasta works, but it's also great, to be fair, just on, get a nice jacket potato, serve it on top of the jacket potato, rice, anything really, veg. In with our onion, okay, and our garlic. Get that all in there. And then I'm going to go with the rest of our meat. So we've got the last bits there, just spread it all around. Our 2 tins of muti tomatoes. That's it, both in there. Our red wine, and I'm going to put that whole little bottle in there. As I said, this isn't for the faint-hearted. It is very, very rich, but very, very delicious. Okay, our beef stock, Get all that in. Try not to spill it, Shane. I'm almost at the top. Probably save a bit back. I can always add some a bit later. Just wash my hands. I've been handling that meat. I'm not going to add any pepper because our Italian seasoning has that pepper in there as well. But I am going to add a little bit of salt. I can always add more at the end. Our Italian herbs. And I'm going to go in, it's probably about a tablespoon there. And some sugar. Now, the reason I put sugar in is because I find whilst the muti tomatoes are really good and they are super sweet, I like to add a little bit of extra sugar. It just sets it off a little bit. So that's probably a teaspoon of sugar. And that's it. And we're just going to give that a little stir around just so that all of those sauces are nicely incorporated. Like so. And get those herbs all mixed in. And that's it. I've got the oven preheated to 160 fan. I'm going to put a lid on this. Oh, wrong oven. Let's put this in the bottom oven. There we go. Okay, and that's going to go into the oven for about 2.5 to 3 hours. It's going to take a little bit longer because we didn't heat everything up on the hob first before putting it in the oven. But I will check on it periodically until that meat is tender. So I'll see you in a little while when we can shred that beef up. I'll see you then. Okay, guys, so this actually took 3 hours in the oven and it has come out. I've tried it a couple of times, just tested the meat, and it looks fantastic. So what we're going to do next is just pull out those bits of beef. Okay. Drain off as much of the sauce as you can. Just fish it out like so. And we're going to shred that up and then return it to the pan. It's all falling apart. Lovely, look at that. The smell is absolutely amazing. Let's start with that. I'll come back to it. So I've just got over here a spoon and a fork. Look, camera lady, come on in there. Just have a look at that, guys. Look, that's what I'm talking about. Look at that. That's what you want to do. Just takes no effort at all. Just shred it up. It's like you know, like crispy duck. It's a bit like that. Look, just doing that. Nice thing is, as I said at the beginning of this video, is there's no fat on this, so this is all edible. Look at that. Lovely. Definitely the way to go. If you can pick up one of those beef roasting joints at the price they should be, as we paid at £10, you know, don't pay £20 for a £10 piece of beef. Look how much meat is coming off that. As I say, I'm going to freeze a load of this, but oh. Let's get a bit more out. Yes, we've got more. Shred that up as well. That's it. Shred it as like thick or as thin as you want. Look how much meat there is there, guys. Look at that. That will handsomely feed, I don't know, a family of like 8, 10. There's only 4 of us. But we are hungry little fellas and lasses. That's it. Okay. I'm going to get that back in the pan. Hopefully. Let's just put it all back into that sauce. And if you can see that sauce, camera lady, look how thick that's become. And if you don't like it as thick, that's fine. You just water it down a little bit. No problem at all. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm doing this really cack-handedly. Let's just get that and put it straight in. That's it. Sort of quite nicely done, I think. Okay. I'm just going to get rid of this board. Come back over here and just stir that through now, your actual sauce. Get it all nicely coated. Oh yeah. And that's it. So I've prepared a little bit of pasta because we're not eating this till later. So the great thing about this is that will sit on the top, no problem at all. So, but I've just prepared a little bit of that pappardelle for trying purposes, of course, and I'm going to put a little bit of this ragu over the top, like so. Okay. Of course, we need a little bit of Parmesan. I've got a small chunk here. You can tell where I've been, can't you, Costco? Just a little bit over the top. We are done. All that's left for us to do, after I've done my hands there, is give this a try. Let me get my knife and fork. That smells absolutely amazing. Right, let's give it a go. Chop some of that up. Oh. Wow. That is something else. The depth of flavour is unbelievable. It is very, very rich. If I had gout, I'd probably stop here. I probably wouldn't eat anymore, I'll be honest. Well, I think I probably would. It is very, very good. The depth, as I say, the depth of flavour, that beef has rendered down beautifully. The pasta goes really well with it. I can taste everything in there. That is excellent. Definitely one to try, guys. Really pleased how that's come out. Guys, I don't know if I said earlier, but I am sporting today, if you hadn't noticed, an ICG apron. Thank you to my children that bought me this for Christmas. It's absolutely wonderful. And if I get enough subscribers, so please hit those subscribe buttons, then I'll be able to start doing some merch and you can get yourself one and some other bits and bobs. Might do some sliders. Joking, of course I won't be doing that. Guys, look, I really appreciate you tuning in and watching through to the very, very end. If you're new to the channel and you like the content, please do consider subscribing. You can click on the watermark or the subscribe button down below. If you're an existing viewer, thank you for watching. Please do like and share. If you've got a recipe, send it through to me. I'd love to cook it for you. I'll put all of the details of today's beef ragu down below in the description as always. And all that's left for me to say until next week is it's cooking good.